Again, you didn't create the change. You didn't make the change happen because they showed up in your world. But what a wonderful thing that would be. So again, that's a change card. The next thing is strength card. Strength card, be prepared. Again, be prepared to use the change to your advantage. Again, be strong, deal with it, work through it, make sure you're utilizing it to your advantage.
Welcome to Cards and Constellations with Bonnie Morris and Don Rumor Rivera from Sonoran Mystic Tarot. Here, we blend astrology and tarot to guide you through the twists and turns for the week ahead. Don't forget to hit subscribe and share. Let's dive into your cosmic journey together.
Cancer, this is your weekly astrology for the week of August 18th through the 24th, 2025. Let's get to it. This week, the charts still show that the kite headed towards Saturn and opposite Mars. So action versus limitations is the tug of war. See if you can find the middle ground. Same goes for Mercury opposite Pluto. Something with communication needs to change. It's worth noting that this kite is dissolving midweek. Thank goodness, right? I'm telling you, it's like, what? Anyway, we will see an opposition begin between Venus and Pluto. Venus is about your love and your romance and money. And of course, Pluto is big change. So consider what it is that needs to change to relieve that tension. Is it money? Is it relationship? Is it money in a relationship? That's the question to know. But this is a week where you're going to have to look at that and see what needs to change. We will also see Mars squaring Pluto, that spring strong drive and an adventurous temperament, accompanied by impulsive and larger than life reactions. So be careful there. When they say that, be careful, especially when your reaction could cause, your action or reaction can cause another action or reaction. Make sure that you don't overplay it. Make sure that that it's consistent. And also, again, don't do something that could maybe not be taken back. Sometimes we do something impulsively and we're like, oh man, I wish I hadn't. So again, maybe kind of keep the impulse to a limited amount, and therefore that you can still evaluate whether the reaction you were thinking about doing is valid. You may find yourself sometimes acting without fully considering those consequences. What did I just say? I see one of two directions: worldly ambitions, wealth and influence, or high ideals and visionary causes. Lord have mercy. They put it in two. Come on, give me them both. It'd be wonderful if you could have that ambition and also achieve something worldly. I mean, look at things, look at some of the famous people and the money they've made and what they've done to help grow things. So again, make sure that you can maybe even find a way to make them work. In either case, the benefit from cultivating patience and awareness of this impact on others is important. Your world gets busy, connected, and mentally alive. The sun moves into Virgo on the 22nd, and that will give you energy in your communication, learning, and networking zones. Love that phrase, right? Networking zones. Okay, you may get pulled in more conversations and short trips, and if that's the case, take advantage of it. Use it because the communication is good this week. There's a push to turn ideas into bigger plans, even if you're still mapping out the route. In the middle of the week, a small idea could snowball into something bigger. Don't dismiss casual conversations. They can plant important seeds. The focus after the sun goes into Virgo is on clarifying instructions and tying up your inbox and revising a proposal before sending it out. Now, this again goes back to what we talked about earlier in the week. You're going to see a potential for something small that's in a conversation or in just in a little something you read, and you're like, oh, I think there can do something more with that. And then by the time that you've worked on it and you've come up with something, you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this. Then you put it into a plan or you put it into some kind of proposal, whatever, and then that proposal goes forward. So as you revise it, make sure that you're not going to be rushed about it. So again, avoid rushing. Final decision details matters more than speed. So again, decisions are more important than the speed. Make sure you get it right. In other words, if single sparks could fly through social events, friends, or online exchanges, if coupled, you may benefit from an open and easy dialogue, making space to discuss Share plans without heavy tensions. There are supportive energies for small strategic financial moves. Double check your contracts and receipts to avoid miscommunication. You need to balance the mental stimulation, which is high, with grounding activities. Again, make sure you're not flying too high so where you don't fall because you didn't see something. Most importantly, just stay grounded. Make sure you're paying attention to things. Okay, let's not lose track. Fresh air and light exercise can clear the head, limiting information overload, and that will help you stay emotionally steady. Slow down this week and catch important details. Wonderful read. Again, pay attention to your relationships. Pay attention to, if you're single, get out there and mingle because there's somebody waiting for you this week. And more importantly, whatever comes from a small, minor detail, something that is little could lead to something great. So make sure that you are on top of it this week. Make sure that you are ready to act upon it and then follow through by week's end. Let's see what Tarot says and see if there is some similarity between the two. Cancer, this is your tarot reading for the week of August 18th to the 24th. Let's see if it jives or even lines up closely to what your astrology provided. All right, first card out this week, the Tower card. Change is coming. Change is coming. You didn't institute it, but it's coming down the road. So be prepared for it. When I see that card come out, I have to always remind folks that in tarot, that Tower card is a change card that you did not create. You didn't create the change. You didn't institute the change. It doesn't mean it's a bad change. It could be a great change. It could be a wonderful change, or it could be a negative change. But the most important thing to know about it is if you know change is coming and you see change as it's coming, then you can navigate that change by determining how can you put it to use to your advantage. Even if it's a negative change, you can still find positive energy in it. You can find a way to make it work for you so where it's not maybe so negative, or better yet, you jump in front of it and use that negative to create a positive outcome in the end. So be prepared for that. Also, this could be a change in relationships. So be careful about that. Make sure you're paying attention to your relationships and make sure you're paying attention to, if you're single, make sure you're getting out there and being around folks, because you may get out there around folks and then all of a sudden somebody comes up to you and boom, now you found somebody special. Again, you didn't create the change. You didn't make the change happen because they showed up in your world. But what a wonderful thing that would be. So again, that's a change card. The next thing is Strength card. Strength card, be prepared. Again, be prepared to use the change to your advantage. Again, be strong, deal with it, work through it, make sure you're utilizing it to your advantage. Five of Coins here. I don't like that card because the Five of Coins said there may be a financial impact in what's happening with this. This could be a change in finances. This could be a change in a situation where you were looking, maybe even planning something, and you're thinking, okay, this is where I'm, this is what I was expecting, and then this is like a shift and says maybe not so much. Maybe your plans aren't going to come through. So this is that flexibility, and again, it's that change that happened that was out of your control. But it's that being flexible. Remember, being flexible that's important, because then with the wheel card, you spin the wheel with that change as it comes along. You spin that wheel. You take that situation that was a negative financial, little bit of financial blip. You spin the wheel and say, you know what can I do? How can I spin this around and make it better for me? And then you're frustrated a little bit with that Hanged Man, but ultimately we get through to a Seven of Swords, which is still yet not a good energy, because the Seven of Swords is there's just a deception around you. So be careful with your money this week. Be careful with the people who are around you this week. Make sure you're paying attention to those who are giving you advice. Make sure that they're looking out for your best interest. Make sure that if people are handling your money, watch where they're putting their money. Make sure you know where your money is. Make sure you know where things are. If you're in a relationship, make sure that you're paying attention to the relationship, that it's getting the attention it deserves. Make sure that money is not becoming a problem inside the relationship. Make sure that if you're with somebody, if they're saying they're paying the bills, check and make sure they're paying the bills. Make sure the mortgage is paid. Make sure you have a roof over your head. You have a car in your driveway or on the street. Make sure you have food in your pockets. I mean, in your belly. Money in your pocket. So make sure that this is one of those verify things. Trust but verify. This is a week to verify. Okay. And if you're in a business partner relationship, then you need to do the same thing. Make sure that there's not something going on nefarious that you didn't know about. Okay, because this could be a time of fraught with potential problems. Okay. And then ultimately decisions, you have to make a decision on the information you received. And they're dropping the sword. You're going to have to, this is not such a great week, Cancer. This is a week where There's people around you cannot trust. There's people doing some things working not to your advantage. There's a change coming along that's going to institute some of this situation. Then it's all going to find itself out. This could be a situation again where mortgages are not getting paid, rent's not getting paid, car payments were not getting paid, money is not being spent the way it should be, and it's all going to blow up. So this could be a week of I get the opposite energy of astrology this week. I get an energy where, again, not enough detail has been paid, and the rooster comes home, and it's not a pretty sight. So Cancer, this week, pay attention from the beginning to the end. Make sure that you're on top of everything. Do not let anything go by you, because as it starts blowing up, as things start happening around you, make sure that you are aware of it, you're on top of it, and you will fix it. Make sure then and jump on it this week. Do not wait. Do not let this fester in any way. This will not lead to a good thing. If you let this go more than 1 week, you have got to be on top of it. You've got to be using everything you can to bring about a positive resolution to this. This is a very fraught time for you based on the tarot. Now, if I were you, I'd ignore tarot and just go right to the astrology, because astrology has you in a new relationship. It has you building a stronger relationship. It has you creating something and then using it to your advantage and making it wonderful by week's end. So maybe ignore tarot because it's not as friendly or as happy as is astrology this week. But no matter which way it is, the most important conversation with all of that, pay attention to your loved ones, your family, your friends. Make sure that you give them attention and love they deserve. Make sure you're paying attention at work, and make sure that you're not letting things go by that you see concern you and you're like, oh, I probably not. No. If you think it's something, it's something. Okay? Act on it and protect yourself. With that said, I'm going to let you go. Have an amazing week. Love, light, and blessings from me and my family at Sonoran Mystic Tarot, Bonnie and her family, to you and to yours. Please hit that share button and the subscribe. Share this out to somebody else. They need to hear this, especially this one. It's this complicated. And then subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and ask them to subscribe as well. If you're on Sonoran Mystic Tarot, which is my channel, pop over to Your Love Goddess, which is Miss Bonnie's. Do the same thing there. And then also to Cards and Constellations. Until next week. Again, have a great one. We'll talk then. We'll have a conversation. Send me a message. Let me know how this resonates, and we will work through this. I promise you, no matter which way it works out, we will get through this together. Bye.